Hey guys, Chad Hester with Apex Off-Road, and I've decided to go ahead and give y'all a few more minutes of this is towards the end of the 600-2. It is pretty washed out. You know, there's been a lot of water. This area right through here where we're at used to be fairly smooth, like a decently maintained forestry road. Right now, I mean, you can't, we're still going 5 miles an hour. So you can't buzz through here at 15 miles an hour anymore. So you used to be able to, right through here, you used to be able to just buzz right through here. But you can't anymore. So I thought I'd just give y'all another view of the trail. Here, let's try this. This is a better view. There we go. Yeah, sometimes I forget to move the camera, but yeah, it's still fun. You know, we like to camp a lot too. So when we're out here on these trails like this, we look for little offshoots where, like, here's a little area right here off to my right, and maybe we can camp there. I don't know. But we look for places to camp when we do this kind of thing. So when we come back, we can have a good idea of how many Jeeps we can fit in there. Of course, it's a minimum of 2 Jeeps. So we try to, you know, there's a couple places where you can fit 4 or 5 Jeeps. And I say Jeeps, but you know, 4x4s. I would not recommend bringing a trailer on this trail now. Before it got washed out, yeah, maybe. If you want to come up here and bring your trailer and do some overlanding or whatever, it's a little bit, I mean, I guess it's possible, but it's a little bit sketchy for that at this point. So you can see it's been raining up here, wind's blowing and that sort of thing, and so we got some sticks in the road, and hopefully I don't flip them up. There we go. Hopefully, I was going to say, hopefully I don't flip them up and get jammed into my floorboard or something, because that happens occasionally. So, I mean, you can see the condition of the trail. Let's see if I can get you a better. Yeah, this is a little downhill section. This kind of reminds me of 600-1. There's a little section kind of like this. It's all downhill. It's easy to manipulate. 602 has always been a little more difficult, but you can tell it's just been washed out. So occasionally you'll see a piece of pipe across the road to transfer water, but that one's collapsed, so they don't really do any good. You know, to get water to go from the top of the hill to the bottom of the hill without washing the trail out, they don't really do very good. So most of them have been run over and they're collapsed. And you know, if enough washout gets in here, then it just washes right over the pipes and washes all the dirt and rocks and everything that's keeping the pipe in place. So, which is the case on a lot of these. So, but I will say, the Forestry Service does a good job of maintaining the roads here. It's not perfect, but you know, I just like to look at my tire tracks sometimes going through the mud. That was fun. It was just a little mud hole that you might have seen it on the video, but maybe not. No, but I just like to. I know it's weird. It's like a 5-year-old, but I like to see my tire tracks sometimes. I think it's cool. So. let's see, over that rock, and then over the rock. So, okay, so beginners, beginner Jeepers, 4x4s, wheelers, whatever you want to call yourselves. We don't do classes, but we will bring you up on some of the easier trails so that you can get familiar with your rig and when to put it in 4 high, when to put it in 4 low, and when you can just 2-wheel drive it. Right now I'm just 2-wheel driving it. No big deal, right? So I rarely will use 4 high. 4 highs for like snow stuff, you know. So I don't really use 4 high a lot. Glenn does, but I don't. So and I mention Glenn a lot because he's the other, you know, he's kind of the other founder of this group. Bob, the third founder of this group, is always on vacation, so I don't get to see him very often. Sometimes he's here, and he's one of the crazy ones in the group. So he'll do a mud puddle before you will.
Say a command.
If there's a question about something, he'll do it. And leave you with no questions. He might get stuck. He might make it. You never know. So, but he's done some things that I wouldn't have done. As a matter of fact, I didn't do. He had fun, and that's what happens. We had a guy that was with us one time, and we were leaving. We were at a 4x4 off-road park, and we were leaving, and it was a big puddle. And this fella he decided, since we're leaving, he'd just go ahead and go through there. And that thing was about 3 feet deep. And he did, and he went through it as fast as he could. And yes, water went everywhere, mud went everywhere. But he ended up sitting at the gas station until 2 in the morning, getting his Jeep fixed. So there's consequences sometimes to your actions, so be careful out there. But anyway, back to my original thought. If you come out here and you're a beginner, that's fine. We can take you on an easier trail. This part of this trail is a little bit easier. It's just bumpy. But we can take you out and kind of, you know, get you hooked up on the radio. And, you know, if you don't have one, I'm sure, you know, somebody's got one you can borrow. We'll take you out and run you through some of the easy trails and kind of teach you just by that. You know, I'm definitely not an instructor, but you know, just being around the group of people, you learn things. So that's why you join a group. That's why I joined the group when I first started doing this. Joined the group, met some friends, and now we go wheeling whenever we can. Not every weekend. Not every weekend. Not every month. Sometimes we go a month or two without getting out and wheeling. And you know, there's that part about being broke down. You know, if you're gonna do this and you're gonna stretch your limits a little bit, you're gonna break something. And so I've had a lot of things break on this Jeep because I push my limits a lot, and so things break. Things break, things leak. You gotta change the oil. You gotta change the brakes. You know, you gotta do stuff. So, and having a off-road vehicle, it's probably a good idea to learn. So, you know, I'm not advocating getting out and stretching your limits to where you start breaking stuff. I'm just saying, if you stretch a little bit, you might break something. That's all. You can always be careful. You don't have to hit everything at 1,000 miles an hour. So
should have got your loppers out of those.
Glenn said I should have cut some limbs down back there, but I kept going instead of doing that. Anyhow, y'all, as always, we'd love to have you come out here.